Hey guys, I'm back and need to quickly address something, so this video is going to be short. It pertains whitewashing. I thought that everyone knew that whitewashing is bad, but it seems not, so I'm going to go into a very surface level explanation on why people hate it so much. Whitewashing, or purposefully lightening a person's skin tone to resemble paleness, and to uphold it as a beauty standard. You would think that hearing this alone people would come to the consensus that this is wrong. This is what you would call colorism. A lot of Asian countries have this problem. It is rooted in classism. The rich stayed inside and therefore their skin was lighter, and the working class was outside and therefore their skin was darker and tanner in comparison. Of course, since everyone wants to be rich and wealthy, it was a sign of social status to have pale skin. This is still a relevant problem in many Asian countries. Tanner Asians, who aren't even that dark, are belittled for their skin color, and are told they would be prettier if they were a shade darker. Even though this classist system does not need to be upheld, it still is in the modern world. You see lots of darker-skinned Asians resorting to bleaching creams or excessive sunblock. Self-hatred is what is shoved in many's faces at a young age instead of loving themselves as they are. And of course, not all Asians think like this, but it's still a very relevant issue in Asia today. Whitewashing upholds the standard of paleness being right. You aren't pretty if you aren't pale. It has nothing to do with the Eurocentric beauty standard, but it does play a way into upholding it globally. You see, with K-pop expanding internationally, there are fans of different races, not just Asians. White people are one of these races. They are pale. Even though the beauty standard in Asia was not made for them, they benefit from it. That's why you see white people being more accepted into K-pop than darker-skinned Latinos, black people, and even darker-skinned Asians themselves. Lana is one of the main examples in this case. She got hate, but compared to any black K-pop idol, she got the bare minimum. She debuted with mediocrity and still didn't get as much flack as a darker-skinned person would. Like I have always said, you can be the best in your field, but a mediocre paler person will always get the recognition. Now, let's look into K-pop and how this affects fans. There are darker-skinned fans. How do you think they feel constantly seeing the standard of white is right? They would feel some type of way, especially seeing this perpetuated on their favorite idol. I have seen some fans gaslighting others by just writing it off as their own beauty standard. Yes, it is their beauty standard, but it doesn't make it right. Korea isn't Narnia. It is a country with issues like every other country. I wish you guys would stop romanticizing it. You shouldn't be in love with any country for that matter. It's weird. There have been countless stories of idols receiving harsh messages from netizens and their own group members about their skin color. I can almost promise you that almost all well-established groups in K-pop has had their own colorism controversy. It's embarrassing. It always starts with one member, who is slightly darker than the rest, minding their own business. Then there is another member who is so insecure with themselves that they choose to bother the darker member about their skin tone. They make jokes about it while the darker member sits there in discomfort because, A, the person bullying him is older, or B, they know they will get gaslit if they talk back. This happens like clockwork, and every time K-pop fans seem to be surprised. You wouldn't be so surprised if your idea of Korea transcended past K-dramas and K-pop. There are real-life problems in K-pop with real-world consequences. With whitewashing, you see these idols seeing themselves in a skin that's not their own. How do you think they feel? You think it makes them feel better about themselves, or furtherly enforces in their head that darker skin is not beautiful? It does neither the idol nor the fan any justice. It only leads many fans to being surprised once they see their favorite idol in person. I've heard so many, "Oh, they are very tan in real life." Yeah, they are. They are Asian. They are people of color. Even the lightest of them have some melanin in their skin. People look up to these idols, they live through these idols, they constantly compare themselves to these idols. Having overall unfair standards helps no one but those who are at the top in the long run. Whitewashing needs to be stopped. It must go. It's not doing anyone any good. Also, I want to touch on the term of darkwashing. I don't know who needs to hear this, but darkwashing isn't a thing. It isn't, and never will, be a thing. Having pale skin has never gotten anyone discriminated against. You don't face harsher punishments due to your pale skin. You don't get looked down upon in society as a whole for your pale skin. Also, people aren't darkwashing idols. These idols actually look like this. Artists are actively trying to drop the veil of idols being perfect and pure and pale, by revealing what society doesn't want to see. Darker skin is one of them. I promise you, this is actually doing good compared to whitewashing. Don't ever compare the two, nor try to make darkwashing a thing. Your colorism and racism is showing. Pack it up and have a nice day. Drop your opinions in the comment section below.